Dick Vitale, college basketball's top analyst and ambassador, joined ESPN during the 79 and 80 season to start talking about college basketball and was inducted to the Naismith Memorial Basketball Hall of Fame in 2008. Is kind enough to stop by with us. Dick, thank you so much for the time this morning.
Oh, no problem, Jordy and T-Bob. Fire away. I know your people are interested. Let me just share one thing with you. You know, you people on Twitter, et cetera, I don't mind that at all. It doesn't bother me. I just like to tell the truth, tell the facts. The bottom line is very simple. Everything you try to justify is always talking Pitino this one did this, that one did this, and you don't look in the mirror at what transpired. Your coach is on record. He is on record, black and white. No, you can't hide it. It's there. His words talking about buying players, one of the biggest sins and crimes in all of sports. I know you guys made a mention earlier. Somebody told me about me saying something that Louisville gave $100,000. It wasn't Louisville. It was Adidas. Adidas put together a package for a youngster representing Louisville, which Pitino has never been on record ever on wire. Show me one wiretap with Pitino. Show me one show clause where the NCAA said he couldn't coach. Show me that one of his coaches were arrested and indicted. We got coaches coaching today who've been arrested, indicted, had show clauses. This guy, it's all rumors. You assume he's supposed to know what his assistants did, and he denies that he knew anything. We don't know. But let me tell you something else, and then you guys can fire away. I'll tell you something else. You keep saying, well, Dickie V's going to take care of his elite guys. That's absurd and ludicrous, because if you know me and you did my research, one of my good friends was Eddie Sutton. Eddie Sutton, when he had problems at Kentucky, I was the first guy to come right on the air and say he should be fired. And it really caused a little bit of my relationship, but hey, I got a job to do. You don't last 40 years, my friend, and you don't get in 14 Hall of Fames, and now I'm going to receive the highest honor ever, the Lifetime Achievement Award in broadcasting, joining the likes of people. I pinch myself to think this happened in my career. The only reason I mention this to you, because some of you people, some of the things they write and say, I can't believe. I wish you die a slow death. I wish the curse words, unbelievable. I mean, this is class. Give me a break. All we're simply saying is listen to what your coach said. Play that tape. And if you're proud of that, then maybe I shouldn't even be on your show.
Congratulations on all the awards, Dick, and thanks for stopping by the show this morning. A couple of things on that initial Yahoo report. There's over 20 schools that are implicated in there, and Merle Code is quoted in saying in that case, it's a corrupt space as it is as cheating is cheating. Code is quoted in saying, whether I give you $1, $100,000, or I give your mom and dad jobs, it's cheating. So in some form or fashion, Duke, North Carolina, Syracuse, Kentucky, and all of the schools are doing something to help the kids. That's just part of the space. That's from Merle Code, who's at the center of this investigation and of this court trial. Why the heavy hand on LSU when so many schools are involved?
I guess you just don't get it, Jordy. You don't get it. Because the bottom line is, did you hear the tape of your coach?
No, that's another thing, Dick. That's another thing. Who has heard the tapes? Who has heard? Have you heard the tapes?
Coming out strong. We'll pay anything. We'll even pay with the dollars that they want to give a rookie in the NBA. Come on, how could you equate that to a statement by Merle Code, who's indicted? You want me to answer that? Give me the next question, please.
Well, then I would go to Bill Self, who has text messages in that transcript, the one that you are identifying that Will Wade is on, with TJ Gasnola, who is the identified bag man, money man for Adidas, texting back and forth with Bill Self about recruits and Self recognizing this is how UNC and Duke work. I'd ask you, was Bill Self's last game as Kansas's coach on Saturday night?
Well, let me tell you this, okay? You asked about Bill Self. Again, a lot of rumors, innuendos.
Yeah, this is not rumors. This is from the transcript.
He's not on tape. There's text messages between guys talking about recruits, but nothing there. I'm going to buy this kid, play it. Let me say this. If it comes out in the trial that he in somehow, some way was part of that in a very, very negative manner and did something in a cheating fashion, I will take him apart, and he's a close friend of mine. I promise you that. I promise you that Rick Pitino, who is very close to me, as you all know, we've been close friends for years, but I will tell you this. He has sworn to me, and I told Rick, and he knows this. I said, Rick, if I were ever proven by people that you're not telling me the truth, that you had no knowledge of the scenario involving when it came down about the fact of prostitutes, et cetera, and his assistant coach supposedly was involved. And I said, you have vehemently denied it. I said, tell me the truth. And he said, Dick, I swear to you. And I said, I'm telling you now, if it's proven that you knew about that, or you knew about any money going to go to Bowen at $100,000, I promise you I'm coming after you. But I don't operate on, rumors. This one said this one. In the case of Will, look, I don't want to say. I love that LSU team. Those kids deserve what they're doing. I did their game against Tennessee. I did their game against Kentucky. I was impressed with them like you cannot believe. In fact, in the Maryland game, I had said, I put it up on Twitter, I said, if it's close coming to the wire, these kids know how to win at the end. They've got a winner's mentality. I said, I've been there courtside. I saw them against Kentucky, saw them against Tennessee. They make big plays. It's a shame that we have to be here talking this nonsense instead of talking about these kids are in a Sweet 16. But then you have a scenario where fans are chanting, Joe must go because he's suspended. What choice did he have? You tell me, what choice did that athletic director and that president have when the coach refuses to meet with them, refuses to talk to them about the scenario? He's on tape like all over the nation playing it. People in the USA Today writing he should have been not suspended, fired. And I don't buy that. I think the guy's due his day in court, the whole bit. But I think a suspension was needed. A suspension had to happen. There was no way you could put him on a sideline after that. But the fans chanting, Joe must go.
Yeah, well, Dick, I think he had the same options that Arizona officials had, or Auburn officials when dealing with Sean Miller or dealing with Bruce Pearl and those guys under the same investigation.
We don't have the Sean Miller scenario yet. We don't have it on record that if it comes out when he's subpoenaed and he goes to trial.
Dick, they had him on wiretap talking about $100,000 for DeAndre Ayton. I mean, one thing, Dick. One thing I will agree with you on.
You don't understand. There's a difference between a guy on an FBI wiretap making statements like he did, and a guy that you assume that he's going to do something.
Javonte Smart is cleared to play. Javonte Smart is playing for LSU right now, Dick. Javonte Smart is suited up and playing. The player at the center of the controversy for LSU is playing for the Tigers. One thing I do agree with you, Dick. One thing I do agree with you on. Let me just get to this. One thing I do agree with you, Dick. It's my radio show, Dick. I'm gonna ask the questions here.
You're looking for an excuse. You're not going to get it from me.
I'm not looking for an excuse.
I love the game too much, and there's no place in the game for coaches talking on wiretap about buying players.
Exactly. I agree with you 100%. I'm not trying to.
Whether it was Jim Herrick, who I asked that he had to step down, but it was that Georgia there, and the situation came up in Rhode Island. Whether it was Eddie Sutton, there's no place in the game, and you cannot justify sitting there looking at other schools all the time, what they're doing, and not looking at yours. Getting blindsided by that is absurd and ludicrous.
Dick, we're not fighting for Will Wade's innocence. Will Wade is suspended right now and will have his day in court.
What are you fighting for? What are you fighting for?
I'm fighting for the hypocrisy that it seems like you're standing on, because one thing I agree with you, Dick, one thing I agree with you on. One thing I agree with you on.
Come on your damn show, and I'm going to be on it for you, but don't sit there and tell me it's hypocrisy when I'm telling you, play the tape. Let your people hear the tape of that coach.
Have you heard the tape? Have you heard the tape?
Give me a break.
Well, nobody's heard the tape. We can't hear the tape.
Pat, you want to go? Get Pat 40 on. Get Peter Thamel. These are respected journalists. Get guys like Dan Wetzel. Get those people. Get Mark Schlebeck. Get all those guys on. And then let's see what they have to say.
Okay,
and they will say twice as much as what I say, because it's factual what he said. He's made statements that are brutal, and no place in a game of basketball for a coach talking that kind of lingo.
Well, and it's interesting you say get Mark Schlabach on, Dick, because we did have Schlabach on, and while he acknowledged what is on those wiretaps, he went out of his way to make it painfully clear that while this is a lot of circumstantial damning evidence, and it is pushing the limits of plausible deniability, that there is no actual smoking gun, that there is no actual proof of what Will Wade did or didn't do. And from the LSU perspective, that's why fans are upset with you. That's why everybody's upset with you.
No, wait, don't say everybody.
All right, LSU fans.
They don't agree. They don't agree with you people. So don't say all.
Okay.
Anybody with any kind of intelligence who can sit there and justify that, there's something wrong.
Well, Mark Schlabach, he's intelligent.
You just can't possibly logically logically defend that.
Okay, so
and I just find it mind-boggling that you're trying to make a show of something that's not real. I mean, the bottom line is Will Wade can coach. We all know that. The guy can flat out coach. It's a shame that he took his career to that point to destroy it, because the perception now is a bad one. And I feel bad for those kids, because those kids really are a terrific group of players. They play their hearts out. They're athletic. They're talented. And I did the Tennessee game, and they played smart instead because Waters was sick. I mean, you could see the talent level, and it's a shame. These kids it should not be the focus right now. Focus should
Well, then
be,
why at halftime are you tweeting about the shadow over the LSU program when, like, other schools are pushing the limits of plausible deniability as well? When when Kansas is on record, Kurt Towns is on record texting.
1 second, because Dick, this is what I agree with you on. Dick, I agree with you on this. This is you on Periscope last year talking about players getting played. Musso, play this. Play it.
He's going to get $100,000 his family for him to go to a school from a shoe company. What about all the mega stars that have come out over the last 5-6 years, one-and-done players, superstars? What about their families behind the scenes? I want to see now the FBI go and start interrogating some of that scenario.
That's Brian Bowen. You commenting on Brian Bowen, who got $100,000. How much did Zion get to go to Duke? How much did they pay for Zion at Duke?
A sad state in sports when we got these. First of all, we could eliminate all these problems. We could eliminate them all. And I think it's a sad state when you have a scenario where we got these shoe companies, middlemen, running dollars, putting money up front with these kids to, many times the kids don't even know what's going on. The Bowen kid probably didn't know what the heck was going on. His father was
Come on, Dick. Come on, Dick. Come on. They got Zion's dad talking to Curtis Townsend about money and jobs, Dick. How much did Duke pay for Zion, in your opinion?
Oh, come on now. Now, to make a statement like that without any proof, come on.
I got the proof with Townsend laying out the payment plan for Zion's dad.
You're going to go making these assumptions.
Come on,
Bottom
Dick.
line is, you want to talk about some ways to clear the game up? Number one, they should let these players. If an agent wants to give a player dollars, the day has come. Everybody's making money, as I said there. I make money. Coaches are making millions. People are making millions. You got a radio show talking about it. People are doing well off the game, and the kids get zilch. The other day we had great games. First of all, do you realize that $1.67 million is given to the conference with every unit that exists?
Yeah.
For example, in the case of the FCC right now, you got 4 teams that are going to the Sweet 16. For every one of those games they won, there's $1.67 million going to the SEC. Well, the bottom line is, what did Waters get after that game? He got a handshake. Great job, man.
Yeah.
Great job.
No, it's crazy. It's crazy. Look,
but here's how you can clean it up, and this is what we should be talking about. What should be done to clean this up? Very simple. You eliminate the middleman, you eliminate all the garbage behind the scene, the wheeling and dealing. If an agent wants to give a kid money, he should be allowed to give him money. If a Beyonce or a Taylor Swift were going to do a concert and they were students, they can make zillions off their concert. It's legal. Well, if a player can make an endorsement, if a player can go to a banquet and speak and get paid, let him get paid. I don't think there's anything wrong with that at all. And then we'll clear up the whole scenario. You eliminate the wheeler and dealer behind the scenes. You get rid of the garbage that exists, because I'm telling you, it really is sad. There's a lot of stuff goes on that we don't know, but I'm not going to make assumptions and make statements that I think this kid had to get $100,000, this kid had to get. I mean, that's stupidity. But if it's on record and it happened, I'll be the first to jump on it.
So that's the thing, right? The ultimate thing that you're in the LSU case, you think the proof against Will Wade is more damning than other scenarios, right? But Javonte Smart's been cleared. Javonte Smart's been cleared by the NCAA to play. Will Wade is not under any sort of. He's not been indicted for a federal crime.
Dick.
Friends, man, are you kidding me? I talk to Dale regularly. I mean, these beautiful people. I've loved LSU for years. I have nothing against LSU. Nothing at all.
But do you understand why people feel like you do?
Players.
Do you understand why people feel like you do when you're demanding proof in other scenarios, and people would say that there's no proof on Will Wade?
The people there feel like they do because they love their school. They love their school. They love their team, and I respect that. but they love it to a fault, where they don't want to see what's right, and they just want to just simply defend something that's indefensible.
No, they want consistency out of the national talking
Hey guys,
heads.
I've been on long enough here, man. I've been nice enough to be
No,
on.
Dick, tell me how you clean it up. Tell me how you clean it up. What's college basketball look in your world where it's compliant?
I don't. Give me the question again.
How does college basketball clean it up? I mean, how do they?
Well,
how do they?
Tell you how you clean it up. They're not going to listen to me, but I think you make it a situation where players can. If an agent wants to give a player money, if an agent comes in and wants to give money to Smart or to Waters, so be it. No big deal. Let them do it. Let those kids make some money. They deserve it. They're bringing lots of millions of dollars to so many people. The NCAA's making millions. They should let kids, if they can make appearances, and if kids can do endorsements, they should allow them to get paid. I mean, it's nonsense. These kids have brought in. Look at the dollars that are being made right now. There'll be billions when this is over down there at the NCAA tournament, the Final Four, and then it's just sad. It's 2019, man. There's got to be changes. Got to be some changes and legitimate changes because these kids deserve it. And then the other thing they should do too is to clean it up. We got to get rid of the one and done. Bottom line is, if a kid is good enough and Zion Williamson wants to go to the NBA right out of high school, they should be allowed to go. They should not hold them back. It's like a LeBron James and those kind of guys, Kobe Bryant. If they want to go, they should be allowed to go.
Thank you, Dick. We appreciate your time this morning.
I appreciate you being on. And I just wanted one message. I want the people there to know I have nothing against LSU. Nothing. I love the game too much. I've been in it 40 years. You don't survive 40 years at my level if you're not really fair to people. And I'll be the first guy, believe me, if it comes out that Will Wade is exonerated from the whole thing, I'd be the first back on your show and apologize and say, well, I'm not sorry. Not sorry for reacting to his statements. Because why don't you play his tape?
Well, we don't have
play
the tape. I can read the transcript.
You heard the tape?
I can read the transcript.
Have
we don't
you
have the
heard?
tape.
Nobody's heard the tape.
I can read the transcript. It is damning, but that's not the point. The point is.
That's all. Well, you made my day. You said it's damning. Thank you.
So is Bill. So is Bill Sells. So is Bill Sells. I mean, come on, Dick.
You want to do something right?
Dick,
I came on your show.
Let me give you a hypothetical.
Money for kids battling cancer.
Yeah,
I have a
absolutely.
new book out. It's my Mount Rushmore's LSU's in the book with Shaquille O'Neal, and my book is the best. Best coaches, players, point guards, scorers, best talent in the 40 years I've been at ESPN. But the big thing with the book is every dollar that I would make, not 80 cents, 90 cents. We already sent a check for $24,000 and change to the V Foundation. Another check is going out for thousands because people have really responded and buying the book. They can get an autographed copy at dickvitaleonline.com. They can get an autographed copy. And they go there. I personally autograph the book, get it out to them, and every dollar will go to help kids.
Thank you. Thanks for coming on this morning.